Hey everybody, and welcome back to Breathe If You Agree. I'm Julian.
And I'm Nick Lehman.
Nick looks a little different today.
I just had my Botox done.
It's looking good. It's looking good. No, but we have a very special guest. Nick is out of town. We love you, Nick. Miss you very much. So I'm here with my very good friend, fitness enthusiast, circle contestant, social media star, icon legend, my good friend, Garrett Caillouet. Woo, 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 woo. From season 7 of The Circle, which if you haven't watched, it's fully out now.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting. Circle type hashtag excited.
Oh, he's killing me.
It's sickening. That's right.
Stupid.
How are you doing?
We're thriving. I'm in an 11-hour jet lag right now.
Sickening.
Yeah. So my watch is dead. It's the middle of the night for me.
Because Garrett lives in Dubai.
I do. I live in the Middle East. It's really fun.
I first met Garrett in New York City, and then we moved to LA similar
About the same time.
And that's when we went to Chipotle.
We did go to Chipotle, but I will say the reason I remember Julian and the first time I think we ever actually spoke was after our workout class. You were wearing neon purple and green shoes. And I was like, oh my God, I love your shoes. And that was our first interaction.
They were like high top zip up Nikes.
Yes.
Do you remember those? They were like made for like water or something, water resistance.
And you're running in them, and I love that.
Yeah, and I was going for it. I've always, picked a suitable fashion. I think I always wore to Barry's too. Like at one point I was like trying to get ready to go to Barry's because like everybody is so like gorgeous. So I'd like shower and like whatever and put on the thing.
Like shit, shower, shave.
And then it got to a point where I was wearing like Ariana Grande like big t-shirts and everything, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about any of you, but like I love it.
I want to look better after class, so I always go in looking as rough as possible.
That's fierce. I like always skip stretch. I always just run out.
That is really unhealthy.
But I stretch here. Like I still stretch. I just like
where
here. No, but I still do it. I just like, I don't know, I get so like laser focus in those that I'm just like, I gotta go. Like, I'm here to do this. I gotta go.
As long as you stretch at some point before you cool down, then I'm fine with it.
Totally. Before I cool down, yes, that part. But Garrett has been a great friend and also a big inspiration on my fitness journey, as we will talk a little bit about it later on, because in the show we encounter that as well. But talk about being in LA. How are you doing? The show wrapped. You met everybody from like past Circle and everything. Is so exciting.
It's been, so exciting. It's so energizing to be back. I lived in LA for 2.5 years, and like landing off a 17-hour flight, I immediately went to the WeHo Strip to like grab lunch on my way to like shower before the events started. And
where'd you go?
High Tops. I just got like I needed a pile of nachos that was as tall as I am, and like it just covered in pickled jalapenos. And
their food is amazing though. That kale salad, that chicken kale salad,
and the cauliflower on a stick, squirt of lime.
So
hell
good.
yeah,
So good.
Shout out to High Tops.
Shout out. This is really Nick. Nick loves fucking High Tops. He talks about it every fucking episode. So this really is Nick, guys.
Sponsored by.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I ran into, I think like something so magical about like coming back is like I ran into probably 10 people that I know through work, through teaching at Barry's. And it was just like such a warm welcome. And then I immediately get to see my castmates, and we get to spend time together and reconnect after, a year, because we had to like essentially communicate in secret for the last year. We filmed over a year ago now. And so, that was incredible, getting to see everybody, and then going to the wrap party was a little overstimulating.
Yeah.
Because you know all these people and you don't know if they know you or not, and then people come up and introduce themselves, and so I always say my name back. They're like, I know who you are. I'm like, I don't know that you know that.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. Everybody from previous seasons, like all the way as early as season 1, showed up, and they were so warm, like so encouraging. They've all been reaching out in our DMs, and like that is something that I didn't expect by any means. Like especially like Chris Sapphire from season 1 has like, I mean, we spent 4.5 hours sending voice notes back and forth to each other the other night while he was watching the first batch of episodes. He has been such a light. I like went dancing with Shoebomb from season 1 and 5.
Yeah,
5?
obsessed.
And it was so fun and silly and goofy and dumb. Daniel from 3, icon, legend. Brendan from 6, amazing.
Love Brandon.
Love Brandon. Thank you so much. We actually talked about you.
I'm obsessed with him.
Obsessed. Brandon is such a sweetheart.
Such a sweetie.
And then I met Cassie. Cassie's about this tall. She's about 4'2". She's from Kentucky, and I love it.
Love Cassie.
She's so
too.
cute.
Was Sam there?
From 5.
Yeah.
No, but Sam actually reached out to me and Raven reached out to me, which I fangirled about because do you remember Pride of 2023? Raven was interpreting for like Megan Thee Stallion and Mariah Carey at Pride.
LA Pride?
And I obviously was such a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
And so I got to see Raven perform and it was iconic. And then for Raven to reach out to me, who I'm like already, one, big fan because of the show, and then 2, because of her work, for her to reach out and then to like find me specifically at the rap party to like have a moment. I cried with her. It was I really do be crying. It was incredible. I'm so grateful.
I be crying too these days for real, and maybe it's just like
remind me your sign.
I'm an Aries.
What's your rising?
Virgo.
Moon?
Aquarius.
Interesting.
I believe. I might check.
You just made that up.
I think Aquarius. I'm pretty sure it's Aquarius. I know my rising is Virgo, though. I know it's Aries, Virgo, and I'm pretty sure it's Aquarius.
Fire, earth, and air.
Yeah.
I'm an earth, air, water. Taurus sun. Gemini rising.
Okay.
Pisces moon. That's where I think my tears come from.
Pisces moon. Yeah. Totally. I wish I knew more, but I'm going to agree with you.
I just listen to the witches.
That part. I just look at Glossy Zodiac or like the memes of it and I'm like, oh yeah, I like totally resonate with Maddie from Euphoria. So like I'm definitely an Aries.
It's like whenever people put the descriptions of each or like the quirks of each one on their Instagram story, I'm like, that really is me.
Totally. There was one that was like difficulty of dating. It was like Aries difficult. And I was like, what? And then I was like, maybe it's right. But Sam, that's so cool about Raven too. And I must have seen her too, like at LA Pride.
Yeah.
But
you were there.
I was there. I was trying to hear.
I'm supposed to see Sam next week. Hopefully it works out. We're supposed to get coffee.
I reached out to Sam. I love when people like you're watching like reality and it really like affects you. Like I had that visceral experience watching you but I already know you, like you're already such a good friend, but watching Sam I was like, oh my god, like this person, like I couldn't wait to watch it. And like her heart really showed for me, and like I don't do it a lot, but I messaged her. I actually was like, hi, like I just wanted to say congratulations, your performance or just like your run on the show was just so like so beautiful to me, and I like really felt it, and it was just really special to watch. So like thank you for that, and I'm so happy for you. And she sent me back a voice memo, and it was like, and she had seen videos before from like quarantine, and she expressed that she had liked the videos and everything like that, and I like geeked out so hard, and my mom geeked out too because my mom loves The Circle.
And we love Julian's mom.
Yeah, she loves
icon and legend.
She says hello as well.
Hi, Mom.
Because she was such a fan. She was like, oh my God, The Circle?
Stop. That's a big deal to me. Your mom's like a celebrity to me.
She like is, she is a star. Wait, I would go on, maybe me and my mom should go on The Circle. I don't know though, because
but playing your dad, you and your mom should go on and play your dad.
Well, me and my mom would be great, but she is such a Libra queen, and I do know that, where she'd be like, whatever you want to say, like it would just be me kind of doing it.
She'd just be like, you're hype.
She'd be like, don't be too mean, and I'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Circle type, fuck you. But I wanted to ask that first Circle question. Do you have to do like a whole sentence, or could you just type LOL? Are you allowed to say?
So I think like going in, you're not really prepared for how quickly things move.
Yeah.
And so sometimes like you want to be able to, you never know how long things are going to go for, right?
Yeah.
You never know how much you get to say. So you have to say as much as possible in every message you send.
Mm-hmm.
So like one of my biggest goals was like, oh my God, how do I like move this forward while also like letting them know where I stand? And so it was constantly a battle of like, how do I be concise? And like, one thing about me is I am going to hit my word count. One thing about me is I'm going to say as many words as absolutely possible.
Yeah.
And so that was, I think the biggest struggle is like consolidating my messages and then doing it quickly enough to where I could actually participate in conversations.
Totally. Because they're not, someone could respond before you.
Yes.
You don't know.
I mean, like there are chats where there are 9 people or 7, 8 people in one conversation. And it's like first come, first serve. And by the time you get your message typed out,
it's done.
You better hurry.
Which is so crazy. And like to be
anxiety inducing.
Oh my God. It's anxiety to watch. So I can only imagine like being in a room alone and trying to type, because it feels like the circle to me is that exact same feeling of when you type a message on your phone and then you like throw it across the room because you're so nervous to see what somebody else is going to write.
Wait, I do that. I turn my phone off.
I still do that.
I delete entire threads. If I don't want to like consistently go back to a message and like reread, I'll delete the thread. But you can't do that. In the circle, you can't delete the circle chat.
And you can't go back to a circle chat either.
No, that's another thing. So like, I don't know if you could see, I always had a journal with me because I wanted to analyze. So like there was a moment towards like the end of my circle journey where I was like, this is happening and I can't let it.
Yeah.
But then like, I didn't use the information how I wish or like, I mean, hindsight's always 2020, but like I had information that I could have used differently. And I think that would have changed the way that like my game played out. But again, hindsight's always 2020. Like you can't like I don't know how to say it. Like even with the information that I had, I like didn't know how to use it effectively. And then I ended up like walking away with information that I should have shared.
Totally.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, but like I get that feeling of like being in your head and being like, do I do this? Or like, is it like worth doing this?
And a lot of people are like, are you sad you didn't win? I'm like, no, that's so crazy. Like I got to be a part of such an incredible, first of all, the first villain season. Because let's be real, that was a villain season.
The way people were... But the thing about this isn't totally villain season, but I feel like nobody was questioning. Like no one, like someone would be like, this person said this about you. And then they're like, oh my God, they did. And then they would rank them last or they would go last. I'm like, wait, why don't you take it to the person and be like, did you say this about me? You know how people go back and forth? I feel like people were accepting tea so easily and then not like questioning it.
And then, yeah, exactly. Because like, I'm so grateful to have been a part of it. And
you won being on. I mean, like you're like, that's so incredible being on. So like,
what a prize, right? Yeah. Because they're like, I've always said that like if I were to do a show, I'd want it to be like a competition show, let alone a show that I love so much.
Yeah.
And so to have been a part of something I'm such a big fan of, like talk about gratitude, I can't get over it. And so like I was in 11 episodes out of 13. Totally. Like that's insane. And then in the episode that I'm not in, they talk about me 3 times. I was like, tell me why I got more airtime after I got out than I did on the actual show. Shout out to my friends.
They missed you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so incredible, but also like such a different season than any other season before. And I think there's been a mixed bag of like people loving it and hating it, but I'm like, it's fairly overwhelmingly positive response to people being able to relate to my experience and the things I talk about, which beautiful.
I'm glad. Yeah. Like to come in the gate, your welcome speech is like so amazing too, because like I also have experienced that as like a gay man of like lowering my voice to try and
hi, my name's Garrett.
Exactly. Hey, how are you? Like just even and you know, I don't know, I still do it sometimes like when I'm in an uncomfortable position or like I'll do it at a drive-thru or like if I'm on the phone, they're like, okay, ma'am. And I'm like, yeah, totally. Like, yeah. Not that it really matters, but like, you know,
like who cares, but also
totally. And like to come in as yourself and then be like, also share that story where it's like, I've done this for my life, like where I was not accepting myself and like pretending to be somebody else. And I'm like so tired of that. That is so like inspiring to others, and I'm sure so many people watching of the LGBTQ plus community and everybody else just like really inspired to be themselves and just like walk fully confident in who they are.
The hardest part of like the love and the gratitude and the appreciation and the stories that people have told is like I don't have the capacity to respond to all of them, but like my heart wants to so bad. Within 24 hours of those episodes airing, I mean, I received about 500 message requests, and then over the week following that, this last week, I mean, that number has tripled, quadrupled, and I truly wish that I could respond to every single one, because I'm so grateful that they feel comfortable, that I've created a safe space for them. Like, how amazing for someone to be able to like feel that through a screen, because like I like to think that's who I am truly at my heart. But it's tough to not be able to like connect with them in that way. So I tried to make sure that I've like posted videos and stories to make sure that they know that I see it and I appreciate it, and I'm so grateful.
Of course, and your videos have been so beautiful. The gratitude is very, I see it from being a follower and as a friend. But yeah, like it's so cool you went in allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and in many other ways more than one, because a little bit further down the line with Jadeja.
Yes.
Who loved Jadeja.
We love Jadeja. I was just with her. We just cried as we said goodbye to each other.
Are her and Darius dating right now?
Yeah.
They are. If you find them
on Twitter, she's wild.
She's planning their future on there. She was like, "Yeah, I want these kids." I was like,
"They're together.
Baby, you better work."
If you are not on Twitter, like I'm not a tweeter, but Twitter. Like if you're on X, they are both very active. They were live the other day, and there's like a circle Facebook group with 35,000 members, and we all like, because we're so grateful for their support, we'll go in there and like we'll post or comment or whatever. One of the members screen recorded their live where Jadeja like casually drops a wedding date. And so there are articles about it now.
Work. I'm glad you found love in the circle.
She won something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I didn't even realize in her exit video she like mentions me, and she's like, "I got a bestie and I got a husband," and I was like, I mean, now I'm crying again.
Y'all's like first conversation where you like connected, and what an amazing way, because you reached out and then she was like, "Oh, I thought he was gonna be like gameplay or talk about everybody else, but he's like really trying to get to know me," and like. Again, that's like so you, and like it was just really special to see that connection. And I know she shared about her past, and then you were sharing about your fitness journey as well, because she was asking how that got started. And again, just like a really vulnerable and inspiring moment, because again, as me too, I found that like having trouble with eating and like things like that in the past, it's like so amazing to see somebody on screen who you recognize or like in yourself, and see that, and you're like, oh, like other people go through this too.
And I think one of the reasons that I just said it without really thinking about it, like one, to connect to Jadeja, to make sure that she knew that I was like trusting her, but like to talk about disordered eating on such a large platform, I think like people don't necessarily understand like that it runs so rampant. Like one, just in fitness, two, in society as a whole, and three, like especially in the queer community. Like disordered eating can be as simple as like hyper focusing on dieting. It's like a food fixation. It's counting calories. It's so much broader than like the actual eating disorders. Totally. And I think I'm so grateful that I've been able to heal my relationship with food. It's one of the reasons that I've been posting like food videos on Sundays. Because I don't believe in restricting your diet.
For snacks.
Like, snacks for snacks. Shout out.
Check
Thank you. Were you a snack? Learn to make a snack. But I post them every Sunday because I don't believe in restricting foods. But if you are on a fitness journey where you're trying to meet your protein goals, or you want to minimize fat, or whatever it may be, here's an opportunity to have your sweet treat, and I will give you an honest review of what I'm eating while I'm eating it, so that you can still have your little sweet treat and like meet your protein goals. But I think it's important, and a lot of people have reached out about it. It's like so many of us suffer in silence. And I think if we can normalize the conversation, it might be easier to find support, even if that support is just your friends or people going through the same thing.
Totally. Because it is still so alive and well, like, and I think it always will be. But thank you for sharing that on the show as well, because I mean, I still struggle with that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like especially like you said, like in the community, but always like growing up. I was like bigger when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and still like I feel like my middle name is literally Fluctuate, which I've like learned to love. You know, like it was hard to accept, like you said earlier, like seasons. There are
Mm-hmm.
seasons where it's just like your body changes, and like
Yeah.
that, it's accepting that and like loving it through all the changes that it is, and
Mm-hmm.
especially like not even with weight, but like with growing older and like seeing changes, and it's hard to accept at first, and you're like trying so hard to deter it. Or I think all my life I've been trying to change it to what I think everybody wants to see rather than what I want to see.
Right.
Or like my vision of what I want to see is clouded by what everybody else is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just it's a daily battle, but like when with being on such a big platform and sharing that is really important, because like you see that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
other people do.
And if even one person could relate, like that's enough for me. And I
Exactly.
think like listening to Jadasia, I mean, first of all, thank you for sharing.
Of course.
But like hearing Jadasia's story about how like people would comment on her weight whenever she was growing up, but she was unhoused, like she was homeless,
Yeah.
and she didn't know where she was going to sleep that night, let alone where her next meal was coming from. And that's why it's so important to me that like we don't comment on people's weight or their bodies. Like
Totally.
we like even whenever I came in, I was like, are you happy, are you healthy? Because it matters, because whenever like I'm at my most shredded, it's usually because I'm going through a tough time and I'm having trouble eating because my head and my heart don't let my stomach work. And so yeah, I try and redirect how people compliment each other and talk about weight loss, but it is seasons. Like you have to forgive yourself for gaining weight and remember that like sometimes we can't prioritize
Yeah.
fat loss or building muscle or working out even.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll get it back.
For sure.
Priorities change, and that's okay.
And that is okay. It's a daily thing, you know, day by day, taking it and being kind to yourself in those moments, for
Always.
sure. Which I feel like too, another part about being on the show is like being kind to yourself in a space where you are feeling so lonely, or just like have that ability to like access all those rooms in your mind that like maybe you aren't when you're not alone, or like that you get to experience other people, or you can like escape by like going somewhere else, but like here you're so stuck. Like could you talk about how that was mentally, and like how you were kind to yourself in that situation?
I think one of the things that I was like uniquely qualified for this experience when it happened, because I was in the midst of my move whenever it did happen. Like I accepted this job overseas like around the same time I made it to like the second or third round of casting, because I couldn't turn down this job overseas, this amazing opportunity for like personal and career growth on a maybe. Because like you're not guaranteed to go on these shows until you're on camera.
Totally.
Like until that camera red light is flashing, you're not guaranteed. So I'm so grateful that I got to do both. But moving overseas to a country you don't know a soul, not one, even your coworkers are new, right? I was spending a lot of time alone, and I think this actually provided me the opportunity to like disconnect and find moments of fulfillment where like I reconnected with my body in ways that like I was stretching again, just to stretch. I was practicing my handstands, and I was like stretching every morning after I got out of bed to like protect my back because I'd just gotten over a back injury. And so there's a lot of like gratitude behind that. And I think like, I don't know, it just like happened at the right time.
Yeah.
Because like there have been other shows. I mean, just being a Barry's instructor, I've met a lot of industry people who've asked me to consider doing other things, and it's never been like the right fit. And then this one was, and here we are.
Yeah. Which is so, when you know it's right, it's like so
Yeah.
right, which is so cool. And such a good, what I love about the circle is just like so like in the times. I don't know, it just feels so current as well, but it also does a really good job of like taking different people from different backgrounds and different like times in their lives, and like maybe somebody who
Gianna,
Gianna,
the twins.
or Rachel. Like I
Rachel.
loved her. She is, you know, pretending to be
So playing a 54-year-old woman playing a 26-year-old, which like she talks about this in the show of like playing herself when she was 26, which I'm sure, like, obviously I don't have that experience, but like, I think I look back onto like me now as an adult trying to like heal my inner child.
Yeah.
Like now she's been given an opportunity to play the younger version of herself. So there could be something healing behind that.
Yeah, and I love when she's trying to she gets like so spicy in that one conversation where she's pretending. I'm like, you are going for it. Future threesome was crazy. So sorry. And then I didn't even know like on the circle you could have like dirty photos, and it's not even
me either. Why didn't I get to send photos?
I didn't even know it's not a dirty photo. She's just kind of like crawling towards the camera, which I was just like,
it's giving Mamma Mia on the beach.
In the sheets. And it's a gorgeous photo, but I was like, oh damn, I didn't know you could like send that text or like send that photo. And obviously who she was talking to,
I didn't get the circle manual because I didn't know you could do that.
And Andy, who was also being a catfish, was like,
Heather.
oh my god, like what's going on? Like, why are you saying that?
The double catfish conversation, like that plot twist, the profile switch, we didn't know about.
Yeah. Because they couldn't say it. And until she visits her when she gets eliminated.
Yeah, so whenever Heather goes to visit, she found out, but we didn't find out.
Yeah.
I mean, the viewer got to find out like long before we ever did.
Totally. How is it like, because speaking of Madeline, when she visits her, she's really the reason that she got eliminated. So like watching it back for you, were there moments of like, oh, I can't believe they said that about me? Or like, you know what I'm saying? You have this like relationship with them a year out, you're texting through the entire year, and then you watch it and it's like, does any of that backlogging of information affect you in your friendships with them? Or
yes and no.
Yeah.
I like had this, I didn't get to watch with anybody. Like I like living overseas. I've made a handful of friends and I'm so grateful for them. But I had to watch alone. And so watching back, I delayed it. Yeah. Like I waited to watch until I like needed to connect with people about it who were asking. And so part of it is because I've now been friends with these people like in a big group chat for the last year because we only know as much as we told each other after the finale. We got one night together. We stayed up till 4 a.m. just talking about the whole game and like getting to know each other on a much deeper level. And so there are moments where like some are positive. Like the night Darian went home, I didn't know Kevin fought for me. And so like, because you only get this 10% sliver of this view. Like you don't know everything that's going on, all these chats, whatever. So like in my eyes, I was like, oh no, Kevin must be against me because he just sent Andy home or whatever. Yeah. Well, I guess Andy was not blocked by an influencer, whatever. But Andy ended up at the bottom, which means he couldn't have been rated high by his allies. Whatever. I didn't know Kevin was defending me. Yeah. And to go back, I'm like, oh, I was probably a little mean. Now Kevin's going to be mad at me. And then to find out Gianna tried to send me home after we had a chat.
When she was like, I feel bad about this, but I'm doing it. Like,
we had a chat. Yeah. I had several moments with Gianna at that point, including one where Jadeja, Darian, Gianna, and I were all in a chat. Yeah. And we all to each other were like, I'd go into a burning building for you. Like we're all firefighters saving each other from burning buildings at this point. And we're like, yeah, we are safe. We are good. And then Darian goes home. Turns out it could have been me. Yeah. And then sure enough, the very next blocking, I'm like, bye-bye circle.
Well, they knew you would win if they didn't.
A guy could dream.
But yeah. It's crazy to think though.
Oh, it's wild. And even now watching back, I'm like, how did this happen?
Yeah. Were there any things you were like, oh, I don't remember saying that? Or like, ooh, is that?
Most of it. I like forgot about the GOAT game. And then I watched it. I was like, wait, am I an artist? And I actually had commentary. I mean, we all like, you obviously are playing the game, but there's only so much that they can show because we were filmed
24/7.
Like, I mean, basically, 24/7. I mean, there are 12 cameras on you in any given moment in your apartment.
Those challenges nights, like those, when they bring stuff to your door and things like that, is that so exciting to like have something
because
to do?
Like you're limited to like the activities that the circle provides. Right. And so like I was playing with a marble track for like 3 nights in a row. And I was like drawing pictures in my little notebook every day in between meals. I was cooking 3-course meals for myself every single meal.
I
What else are you going to do?
Totally.
It was really cathartic. But yeah, like whenever you get something to do, like paint a picture or whatever it may be, I loved it. Or whenever you get an outfit.
So fun that they gave you all the things. The zombie one, loved.
The zombie one, I spent so much time on that makeup. I did like the full makeup tutorial. I was going in.
Yeah.
What else was I gonna do? I also, those shorts were like 7 or 8 inches longer.
You cut them?
And I was like, I'm cutting these.
Oh, work.
I like grabbed a knife out of the kitchen.
I was like, they looked good. Like the shorts and the shirt. I was like, okay, work. They like.
I was like, can I keep this?
Did they let you keep it? No. I would say. Well, why not? That's like, what are you doing?
What are you gonna reuse it?
Exactly. How long are you there? Like the fully shot?
Almost the entire month of October last year.
Okay, work. Oh my God, it is an actual year.
Yeah, it has been a full year.
Oh my.
We filmed at the same time as season 6.
Oh.
Like, and they aired 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So like we were all within a couple weeks of each other.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They do it back to back like that.
Yeah. That's at least for the last few seasons. Like season 1 came out and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Work.
Yeah.
Now, in real life, have you ever been catfished? Or have you ever catfished?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I pretended to be Australian on the internet for like 4.5 years. I'm like, Gez is back with another life hack. And then to this day, I get comments on my Instagram. They're like, didn't you have an accent?
I remember you used to do that a lot. You still do it a lot?
No, like I'm so out of practice.
You're so good at it though.
Thank you so much.
And you still, you're two big things about Garrett: the Australian accent and the mermaid, the flipping in the pool.
I really do be mermaiding.
Do you have a pool in Dubai?
Yes. Okay. So I just moved apartments because my first apartment, 4 pipes burst in the first year. Loves it. And then my walls were falling apart because there was a leak in the walls and they wouldn't come fix it. And I didn't want my cats to like lick up the wall chunks that were falling on the ground because that's dangerous.
Delicious.
But I just moved and I have a rooftop pool.
Work.
And I go up there and play mermaids.
As you should. Now,
as you should.
Who brought Savannah, I believe?
Savannah
she brought her
Samson.
dog. Were you like ever prompted to bring your cats?
My cats were already in the UAE.
Okay, so you couldn't.
If my cats had still been in the US, I would have brought Zan. So Xanthippe, my boy, because
Zan was your first born.
No, second.
Oh.
But Zoja is much more high strung.
Okay.
She's such a cuddle bug and she loves people, but she's a screamer. And my cats are loud. And so I could have had Zan and he would have made great TV because he's a shoulder cat. He just sits on my shoulders all day. But they were already in the UAE and it was like, I have almost died several times. I was a professional circus acrobat. I've been in car accidents and like praise the universe, I'm still here.
Yeah.
But nothing has ever given me PTSD until I moved my cats overseas.
Ooh, like on the plane.
Yeah. I had nightmares about my cats dying for like 6 or 7 weeks.
Oh, because were they not with you?
They were on the flight with me,
but,
but like we got redirected.
Okay.
And then, so I got like stuck on a tarmac 8 hours out of New York City while I was trying to catch a flight to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
But your paperwork takes 12 weeks to put together because it's all this blood work and it's only valid for like 4 days. And then we got redirected and the paperwork's only valid for that one flight. So it was scary. Anyways, got stuck in New York City with my cats in their carriers. They'd already been in for 12 hours. Doesn't matter. It's a boring story, but it was awful.
Yeah, I can imagine. But now, so you only have 2 cats, right?
Yeah, I have 2 cats.
Okay, cat daddy.
I almost rescued another, but I was like, I can't. I really shouldn't.
I like really want a dog, but I like really need to figure out like my life.
I get that. And you'd be so good with a dog. Like I can picture it.
I like watch my friend's dog all the time when she leaves and I absolutely love it. But then when she comes back, I like absolutely love
having the moment.
Having like alone. But then I do feel like phantom dog where it's like the dog, I feel like I'm in bed and I'm like, oh, the dog's here. Or like and
then there's nothing.
I come home and I'm like, oh my God, I need to let the dog out. And I'm like, oh wait, there's no dog here.
It's me. I'm the dog.
I
need to let the dog out. It's me.
I truly. Please come back to LA and make it. I would love that. Perhaps. So will you talk about like what your plans are now after the show and like what you want to do and how you want to use those tools to continue forward?
That's what's crazy is because like I have a big boy job. Like whenever I moved to the UAE, like I did it because of career growth and like just expanding my worldview. Like the Middle East is a bit of an enigma for like growing up in America or growing up in a military household, especially. Like I lived in Japan until I was 14, but like growing up in a military household, obviously, like being a kid who was alive during like 9/11, the Middle East is viewed differently, and so this was like such a cool opportunity to like get to see it for myself and experience, and like I'm so grateful for that and how much my worldview has expanded. But also career wise, like I directly oversee 3 studios in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and then I help with studios in Bahrain and Qatar, and then I'm hopefully, as long as all goes well, Egypt next year.
Amazing.
I'm not going to settle there forever, and they knew that in hiring me. I miss LA, I miss New York. I think my time's not done overseas.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people resonate with like my approach to fitness and my approach to like food and my body, and I would love to be able to continue to share that with as many people as possible. And so I would love to start selling like 8-week workout programs focused on strength and functional movements and like overall health and wellness, without like hyper fixating on like calorie counting, and instead fixating on like how strong are you this week.
Yeah.
And so that's something I'm working on in the background, and I really hope to have it ready before the holiday season, just so I can continue to connect with people, because I'm so grateful for that part of this.
I love that. I mean, I will be a subscriber or participant.
I'll give you a discount. Just give me a testimonial.
Okay, T. I will definitely do that, because I love that feeling, like working out to feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Just like feel good in your body. That was when I taught 305 Fitness. That was a big message. TBT. That was just like feeling good in your body, feeling like sexy, feeling like just like getting into it. It's like, yes, it's good to get a workout, but just like feeling stronger, feeling like better mentally, and just like getting in there. So I love that.
Yeah. And like, how amazing to like be so strong, to be able to like pick something up that weighs as much as you do.
Totally.
Like, you're like, am I a superhero?
Am I the Hulk?
Quite literally, yes. And you look great doing it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tell me about what are the like top 3 things on your For You page right now?
It's heavy.
It's deep.
Yeah. I TikTok is kind of like my jump off point for continuing growth of like my overall perspective of the world. So I do get quite a bit of content about like conflict in the Middle East, which is just like heavy, but I think it's really important, especially living over there, like educating myself as much as possible. And then I also get like a lot of circle content now, because people are tagging me in it, and obviously I watch the videos all the way through. And I love the comment section. I love like a silly, goofy, whatever. Like just being playful with people who make videos about the content. I think just like interacting with people who care about the show means something to them, and it means something to me. And then obviously a lot of dance trends and a lot of cottage cheese recipes. But like I'm taking a break from cottage cheese. I've done too much.
Did you do the pizza crust one?
No.
You didn't see that one?
But I keep seeing it, or like tortillas.
You're like baking it?
Yeah. My gas isn't on in my apartment yet.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably why.
I feel like my only like cottage cheese like moment is cottage cheese and pineapple.
I made a cottage cheese lava cake in my microwave.
Really?
Tell me why it was amazing.
Like a mug cake kind of?
Yes. But like the bottom doesn't cook through, and so it like explodes in chocolatey saucy goodness.
Okay.
It was amazing.
That sounds...
Recipe on my...
Was that Snacks for Snacks?
Yeah, Snacks for Snacks.
Oh, I gotta go to...
2 episodes ago. And I know it seems icky, but like it's delicious.
I feel like those ones are the ones that are the most delicious, when you're like, oh, it's not
like
gonna be good.
Cheese in the microwave?
Did you see just now Dua Lipa like putting the spicy pickle juice in the Dr. Pepper, the Diet Coke?
Hello?
She put spicy pickle juice, some pickles, and then like some jalapenos and jalapeno juice in like a Diet Coke or a Dr. Pepper or something.
People were going through the Sonic drive-thru asking for Dr. Pepper with pickles in it.
Yeah.
But I trust Dua Peep with my whole chest. Like,
she's so cool. Like she's
so cool.
I would take that.
And she speaks up about things she cares about, which that matters. I think whenever you have a platform, that matters. I think it's challenging, but I think it matters. But I love her, and now I have to do it. Maybe that's the video we make today.
Yeah,
we
let's go
Uber
get
Eats
it.
some pickles.
I'll do it. Let's do it. I would love to, because I'm like, what the hell are you talking about it?
Fun fact about me, because of TikTok, because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I was in a Dua Lipa music video.
What Dua Lipa music video?
Dua Lipa did a TikTok music video to Levitating.
I remember.
And I did Dexter Mayfield, Dex Rated, shout out to Dex.
Love Dexter.
I did Dex's choreography because we met through TikTok at the time, and then they put me and Dex side by side in the Dua Lipa YouTube video.
Oh my gosh.
So type in Dua Lipa TikTok music video. I'm on Dua Lipa's YouTube.
Okay, fear.
And I forgot about that until like 2 weeks ago.
That's so fierce though. You're in like the Dua Lipa. What?
Dua Lipa universe.
Is that who's your like queen? Is it Dua Lipa?
That's tough because like I have.
Not pitting queens against queens. There's
No,
Everybody's
never.
a queen. But
we are
like,
girls supporting girls through and through. Music wise, I've been in kind of like this 80s inspired queer pop music era. But like if I choose like the mainstream pop girlies, like Dua is up.
Yeah.
Tippity top. I love Becky Hill through and through.
Love. I experienced Becky Hill with you. First time ever.
Oh my gosh. Hecky Bill. We went together.
Yeah, we did.
TBT. Yeah, those are top two. I've been like, I was late to the Ariana game, but like after seeing like that video of her producing, I think Positions, like where she like layers her own voices and she like sings different harmonies.
She's like one more time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's like, let me add double that.
Yeah.
Musical genius.
Incredible.
And I think like that alone made me a fan. And then whenever like We Can't Be Friends came out, like I was sobbing.
Yeah.
Sobbing.
It's so
like Ariana's up there for sure. But I think recently I've been in kind of like this sad girl music era, like Coco Jones, Renee Rapp, and then my like 80s inspired queer music with like Caroline Kingsbury, Chappell Roan. That's been big for me.
I'm really hoping for Chappell, like, because she's gonna be on SNL soon. Like, well, Ariana Grande's this weekend. Her and Stevie Nicks, she's hosting, and then Stevie Nicks is the musical performer. And then the next week, I believe, or the next week after, it's Chappell Roan. But I think she's gonna release Subway because like she's going back on SNL, so maybe she'll have like, a new song.
But also like she's in New York, and what do they have there? Subway.
She got away. You know that song?
No.
Oh, she's been singing it out. It doesn't sound like that. But
I saw it. It doesn't sound just like that.
Sadly, no.
Triple threat.
Exactly.
Triple hyphenate.
It's still a little kind of. I guess it's not that early, so no, I can't make any excuses about that.
I did see a clip from one of the festivals that she performed at, and I think it was that.
Yeah,
because I hadn't heard it.
Yes, she does this one song, and I'm really hoping that that's what's going to be coming out. Or I'm happy with any songs she.
Please
sings,
and thank you.
The
the previous artist I just mentioned, Caroline Kingsbury, is like up and coming. She's
the one that's. The concert.
Yes,
okay,
you have to come with me.
I'm gonna come.
Okay, if you're listening, October 17th, if you're in LA,
yes.
Caroline Kingsbury has a show. We'll be there. Come dance your ass off with us. What? Dance your ass off with us. Anyways, Caroline's releasing her EP the day after, so we all get like a little sneak peek, and so I'm super excited about that because she's released a couple of singles that are just like I think are gonna put her on the map.
I love
an up and coming moment.
Where do you know what venue it's at?
Moroccan Lounge.
Oh, okay.
Tickets are literally $20 after fees.
Love. I was at Moroccan Lounge not too long ago. Chrissy Chapleka.
I don't know this.
She's on TikTok. She is an amazing artist. Check her out. I danced for her for a few shows like in LA, but she was at the Moroccan Lounge, and it's a cute space.
One more artist who I just thought of. There's this song. It's like the only song I know by her, but I've been obsessed. Her name is Rachel. Rachel something but the song is Never Need Me, and that has been on repeat for me. That's been amazing. That's on my Gadies playlist.
Do you listen to Flow? You like need
the group?
Yeah, the group.
Yeah.
The girl group. I'm like, I was already obsessed with them, but like I've just been watching. I saw them at Lollapalooza, and their mics didn't work for the full first song. Like they were silent, and there was like a little background track, but like it wasn't enough. No one thought they were lip syncing, obviously because of that. But everyone was like, this isn't working.
Quit it, yeah.
And they went off stage, came back on. It still wasn't working. And then when it started working, Garrett, like they sounded so fucking good. And you were like,
they were just making you wait for it.
But it was like 15 minutes. I mean, they were like, people were leaving. But like,
it's called edging. Look it up.
Exactly. But as soon as they did it, oh my God, I was like, if that wasn't planned, which I assume it probably wasn't, but like it worked in their favor because I was like, fuck, you guys sound so good. Like there's no question that that's not y'all because, it took so long to figure out the mics.
Yeah.
But I recommend them for anybody listening to. They are like my That's like my new like obsession right now. And the Brat remix album, which comes out this week.
That has Ari on it.
With has Ari, Sympathy is a Knife. Well, will you tell everybody to find where they can find you?
Yeah, under your bed, in your closet, and likely under your sink. No, on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, which I never get on, is Garret, Gar Ratchet. That's 2 R's. Yeah, that's me. And I'll be posting my snacks and dances with Julian.
Yay!
And hopefully soon fitness content that you can be a part of. And yeah, I just hope that if you watched me on The Circle and you resonated and we got to connect, like first and foremost, thank you. And I'm so grateful for that. And Julian, thank you for letting me come on today. I missed you and I'm so glad we're here today.
I miss you so much. And everybody, please watch The Circle. It has been such an honor to get to watch you as a friend, but also just as like an audience member, just like somebody who is so true to themselves and allowed themselves to be vulnerable and like for an audience to connect with them in like such a special way that it was really inspiring to watch. And I love you. And I'm so grateful that you made the time to come here today. First ever solo ep. Miss you so much, Nick, but we held it down today for Breathe.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Also, one regret, if I could change one thing, I wish I was a cuter crier because I really do be crying. Anyways.
But that's okay. I don't feel like who's cute crying. That sucks.
At least you know it was real because I definitely couldn't have changed that face.
I didn't think I don't think you've ever not looked beautiful though. Truly.
So,
I didn't think you were an ugly crier.
Thank you.
I
appreciate that. Maybe it's just me being hypercritical of the faces that I make.
You know what though? When I see people who are like not ugly criers, I hate them.
Okay.
Because I'm just like,
and I don't want to be hated by you.
Exactly. That's why I like you so much.
So pretty criers, beware.
So pretty criers, if you're listening, don't. Just kidding. But no.
Or just change.
Yeah.
We don't mind that.
The overall message is to change. Yeah. So if you're not an ugly crier, fuck you.
Everybody be who you are unless you're a pretty crier, in which case change everything.
Exactly. And on that note, that's Breathe If You Agree.
Breathe If You Agree.
Love you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye.